Hi, hey, and all those other greetings, adventurers. I'm Jake Spins, welcoming you guys back to my gaming and unboxing channel, where recently, as you guys know from Nintendo as well as my own videos, Mario is celebrating his 35th anniversary, which is pretty cool. But something that I've realized with a lot of these anniversaries is generally the flagship character, which, yes, it does make sense, like Mario, Sonic, they usually get that title of it's their 35th, or it's their 30th, or it's their 40th, and they're really the only one who gets the spotlight. So I figured that, by no sheer coincidence of the fact that I haven't unboxed this yet and ended up ordering it a while ago and just had been procrastinating ordering it, and then recently ordered it and then realized it was Mario's 35th to do this video. I decided we would be giving a spotlight to another more minor yet major character, that being, and I cannot believe I am saying that I have not unboxed this, considering it is a gigantic staple in the Mario series, a Goomba. Now, before you click off, you clicked on this video. You saw it said Goomba. But, Goombas are extremely important. You might not think about it, considering it's that one enemy that you laugh when somebody inevitably ends up dying to it, and you laugh when you see a beloved family member dying multiple times to the first Goomba the first time that they play. But this guy is very important because this guy sets up an entire universe and an entire world. He gives Mario a reason to fight. If it was just Bowser by himself, sure, there would be a fight, there would be a conflict, but there wouldn't be that much conflict because Mario would just be able to stroll up to Bowser and be like, yo, dude, let's fight. And then you'd have like a 5-minute game and people would be sad because they'd be like, I spent $60 on this. When did this become a review for Mario Tennis Ultra Smash? But, anyway, though, the interesting thing about the Goomba is that Goomba was actually not supposed to be the first enemy in Mario. It's very surprising considering the fact that originally, Koopa Troopas were the only enemy inside of Mario's arsenal that would walk around and try to kill you, but they decided that it was way too hard of a game to just jump on a Koopa and then hit the shell because of the fact it ricocheted back. And honestly, I can understand why they thought this. So, with their limited palette, they ended up making the Goomba. And, well, yeah, it's not necessarily a super threatening type of enemy. That's also kind of the point, just like the Motobug in Sonic. Its point is to ease you into it while still giving and fleshing out the world. The other interesting thing about Goombas is these guys were actually Mushroom Kingdomites. Yes, I don't know if that's a word, but we're going with it anyway. But before they actually went to Bowser, they were supposedly mistreated in the Mushroom Kingdom and decided to go on to Bowser's side. Who really knows the full extent to why they ended up going to Bowser? But hey, they saw the Koopa King and were like, hey, you give us a home. It could also be the fact that they saw that Bowser was like, I'm turning toads into bricks. And I am taking them and putting them in potato sacks. And the Goombas were like, nah, fam, I ain't having any of that. I'm just gonna fight Mario. I'm just gonna do that. I mean, either way, they were kind of screwed. the thing is, you can also kind of tell that Goombas were a secondary despite being the first enemy that you see inside of Mario. Think about many of the encounters. Sure, he's in baseball, but you need 9 people per a team at least for that, and they gave an addition, so that's a gigantic roster. They needed somebody to be in there. But despite this, if you look at almost any other type of medium, Goomba is still not in it. Believe it or not, if you haven't realized this, Goomba is yet to be in Mario Kart. Yes, Goomba is a hazard, and I don't want to hear people saying, well, Goomba's a hazard, so it can't be a driver. It's a species, just like Lakitu, who, yes, is doing the light and being like, boo, 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 but it's a species. Just because Lakitu died in the original Mario Brothers, because you stomped on him, he comes back because he's a species. I'm sorry, it frustrates me that this is an argument that people use for Lakitu and are confused about, and I'm just like, what? But then nobody questions the other species at all. But, to further my point, though, look at Mario Kart Tour. A mobile game that is literally meant as a gacha system that has now added Hammer Brother, Ice Brother, Fire Brother, Boomerang Brother, Monty Mole, King Babam. King Babam. Yeah, you remember King Babam from Mario 64? The first boss from Bob-omb Battlefield? He is now playable in Mario Kart Tour. And Goomba isn't. Not only that, but only recently was Goomba put into Mario Party as a playable character for Super Mario Party. And I mean, yes, you could argue Goombas are not that exciting. And to an extent, yes, I agree with you. But they should really be getting more love, shouldn't they? I mean, think about it. You have other fairly generic characters like Koopa Troopa that get plenty of love. And, you know, you have plenty of other characters like Monty Mole who still gets plenty more love than a Goomba does. And, I mean, sure, I don't think anybody would say their favorite enemy is a Goomba, but for argument's sake, I feel like Goomba kind of gets the shaft when it comes to Mario. He's just not celebrated, and he's not seen as interesting, and it's kind of unfortunate. So, here's a Goomba plush. Am I selling this video? Probably not. But you know what? Either way, whether you're still on the video, whether you clicked off, I mean, if you clicked off, then you're not hearing this anyway. So I guess it doesn't matter. But either way, we're going to be looking at the Goomba. So, one thing that I'm finding fairly interesting is instead of having that Goomba-ish shape, where it's more kind of like, you know, a mushroom, he's a little bit more rounded. You know, he's more of a ball that was deflated type of shape. Pizza dough. Pizza dough. That's the shape. That's the shape. I don't know why, but it just snapped in my head. And there we go. So his shape is very pizza doughy, which is interesting. He does seem like the right shades of most of the colors. Like the brown is a fairly decent close color. I was looking at the face cam, so I thought it was a little too dark, but no, pretty good color. The torso is also pretty good. Normally, it does appear to be darker, but that's because they have a shadow that is over that area, and our lighting is not Mario's rendering, so, you know, it works out. So he's got his torso, and thinking about it, the Goomba's bodies are basically the same as Toad's, now that I think about it. So yeah, this canon actually makes sense. It's kind of neat. And of course, you have his little feet, which the bottom of the shoes, pretty good. Makes you wonder how do they put their shoes on? Do they have to like use their mouth and they have to like trick? They have to do like trick shots. They have to just pick up the shoe with their mouth and they just have to go like flip it up, and then they throw their feet up, and then they have their shoes land on their feet. Maybe, I don't know. Do you do that? Well, there you go. That's a definitive answer. I mean, I don't know how you could canonically get a better answer than that. Going back to the plush, though, his eyes are fairly generic, which is fairly perfect for the Goomba. He does look a little less angry and more just unimpressed. Like you just told him a bad joke at the dinner table in front of his mom, and he's like, "Dude, why are you doing that? You know you're not funny. You're not gonna impress anybody." And his round eyes, they just show disappointment. To be honest with you, the size of the eyes and the pupils are spot on. And then, while I would curve the eyebrows more and maybe try to get them a little bit more off the plush, I think this also does work considering you also don't want the that fragile part, which it's still not fully attached. But if it was like this, it would probably look a little better and a little more Goomba-ish. But they're probably going for more of a quality control to make sure that it doesn't rip, as I always say. And then, of course, you have a connecting little U on his forehead, which, oh my god, it was a teaser for New Super Mario Brothers U. Right on the Goomba's forehead, and nobody saw it. Other than that, though, the only thing to mention is his scowl, which, I mean, looks more like a flat, unimpressed smile or frown. God, my brain is not working today, is it? But yeah, it looks like an unimpressed frown. So not the greatest, but you can at least see that it is defined. Some plush you can't see that. And for this they did more of a just a stitch, and it looks like they kind of curled up the fabric just a little bit, and that's how they did it, because you can also see these stitch lines right off to the side, so it's very possible that that's a way they could have done that. And of course you also have the embroidered teeth on there, which are the right size, shape, and all that, which look pretty good. So honestly, while yes, this plush isn't impressive, it doesn't stand out, it's not going to be the superstar of everybody's Christmas, but it does what it needs to. Just like a Goomba. Sure, they're unimpressive. Sure, they're unthreatening. Sure, we question, how the heck do you play baseball? And why, when you charge the bat, do you put it in between your legs? You made it a very different game, Nintendo. You changed baseball forever. It's a mystery to everybody. But despite all of this, Goomba is still important, and he is still 35 years old. And I feel like that is worth celebrating. So to celebrate, we're just gonna squash the Goomba. And there we go! That's the video over! So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, or smash that like button. Share us out with everybody you know, love, brother, mother, sister, father, iguana. And share us out with all of your Bowser Minion friends. They might hate the last part though. Kind of defeated the purpose. But yeah, that's it. You guys can go back to playing some Mario. Let me know what game of Mario were you playing before you picked this video. I mean, it could have been like 3 years since you've played a Mario game, but I still want to know what that Mario game is. Because I am interested, and you guys are awesome, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Keep your toes safe.